In recent years, there's been a growing perception that government influence extends beyond policymaking and permeates into the media we consume, impacting the news stories that reach us. Although it's widely believed that media outlets align their perspectives with the prevailing political atmosphere, there seems to be a growing sense of frustration among news broadcasters. Recently, some media personalities have shown thinly veiled frustration with the current UK Labour government, especially its leader, Keir Starmer. In this video, we're going to unpack an intense, unexpected on-air moment from a prominent news anchor who expressed significant criticism toward Labour. This segment, aired live, highlights some of the broader frustrations around current policies and public statements, especially when it comes from Sky News, a network not usually seen as overtly critical of the government. This particular segment is already making waves, as it calls out Labour and Keir Starmer for what the anchor perceives as a deviation from earlier promises, focusing on fiscal policies that have seemingly diverged from Labour's manifesto. It's a commentary on the shifting landscape of public perception and how even the media is struggling to maintain a neutral stance in light of recent events. We'll delve into what the news anchor said, why it struck such a nerve, and the potential ripple effects on public trust in both media and government. The criticism revolved around Labour's new budget, which proposes significant tax increases and an ambitious spending plan. The anchor argued that this was contrary to what Labour had communicated before coming into power, describing the budget as the most extensive they'd encountered in over a decade. The anchor also highlighted an apparent disconnect between Labour's pre-election promises and its current actions, fueling a sense of betrayal among voters who feel they were misled. During the segment, the anchor referenced previous statements made by Rachel Reeves, Labour's shadow chancellor, who asserted there would be no tax rises beyond what was already planned. However, the latest budget has taken a starkly different direction, indicating over £40 billion in new tax hikes.
We did increase taxes yesterday by £40 billion. That was necessary.
The tension grew as the anchor contrasted Reeves's prior claims with the reality of the current budget, raising questions about accountability and transparency. One particular point of contention was the notion of a black hole in government finances, a gap Labour is now attempting to bridge with additional taxes. Critics, including the news anchor, pointed out that Labour's spending commitments were not adequately outlined prior to the election, which has led to a backlash from those who feel blindsided by the scale of the tax hikes and spending. When asked about this, Reeves cited the need to settle public sector pay disputes as a driving factor behind the increased expenditures, a decision that some argue should have been foreseen. This outburst is emblematic of a broader frustration among the media and the public regarding the perceived opacity of government decisions. The fact that these critiques came from Sky News, a network often seen as maintaining a professional distance from overt political bias, added to the impact of the segment, with many viewers expressing surprise at the network's pointed commentary. In other news, a separate incident showcased a different kind of frustration within the British public. A 62-year-old man named Kevin Myers was recently involved in 2 incidents of vandalism, damaging over 20 vehicles in Warrington. Myers reportedly used shards of glass to scratch the paint of high-end cars, including models like the Jaguar XF and Audi Q5. His actions, carried out on separate occasions, left many residents and car owners dismayed, with the total damages reaching into the thousands of pounds. When questioned, Myers offered no concrete explanation for his actions, leading prosecutors to describe his behaviour as irrational and driven solely by a desire to cause harm. During a recent court hearing, he was sentenced to 12 weeks in prison, though this sentence was suspended and he was ordered to pay £4,000 in compensation to the victims. According to his solicitor, Myers has been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and is now receiving treatment. Nevertheless, his actions have stirred up concern over public safety and the need for a stronger response to vandalism. The public's frustration, whether in reaction to political shifts or personal grievances, seems to be surfacing in various ways across the country. People feel increasingly disillusioned with political promises and disheartened by incidents of senseless vandalism, that affect their daily lives. These events highlight the underlying sense of discontent that is taking root, prompting a larger discussion about responsibility, accountability, and the role of institutions in addressing these issues. On a more hopeful note, Prince William has recently stepped into the spotlight with a bold initiative aimed at addressing homelessness in the UK. In a two-part documentary series titled Prince William, We Can End Homelessness, the Prince of Wales laid out his vision for tackling this deeply entrenched social issue. Prince William, now in charge of the Duchy of Cornwall, a large private estate, announced plans to use some of its lands for housing projects designed to support individuals experiencing homelessness. This initiative, a significant step for the Duchy, focuses on building affordable housing for those in need, with an emphasis on creating supportive environments for individuals transitioning from homelessness. The Prince described the project as a new chapter for the individuals who will benefit, emphasizing the importance of creating welcoming spaces that encourage personal growth and stability.
They have not only overcome homelessness to achieve their personal ambition.
Working alongside Ben Murphy, the estate director of the Duchy, Prince William envisions a future where homelessness is no longer a societal norm. As we wrap up today's discussion, these stories underscore the diverse issues shaping the current British landscape. From political accountability to individual acts of frustration and impactful social initiatives, it's clear that the UK is navigating a complex web of challenges and transformations. The increasing demand for transparency, the search for effective solutions to long-standing problems, and the growing need for accountability are all elements that continue to fuel the public discourse. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. Whether you're frustrated with political decisions, concerned about public safety, or inspired by efforts to make a difference, every perspective adds to the conversation. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay updated on the latest developments and join our community as we continue to explore these pressing issues. Thank you for watching and take care.